We're getting close to wrapping up the railings up here, but we need to just take care of a few details and loose ends. So earlier we noticed that the railings up here on the second floor are overlapping the edge of the actual second floor here in the balcony, which obviously doesn't look right. So it'd be nice if we could take the railing, just kind of nudge it inside over the floor just a bit, maybe even just an inch, and that would take care of the problem. Fortunately in 3ds Max we can do that rather easily. Let me show you how. First thing I'm going to do is make sure that my railings are linked with these little helix detailed objects. In other words, I want these little detailed objects, the helix objects, to be parented to the respective railings. So if I take this railing and I move it, you'll notice that yes, this one is correct. So I'll undo to move that railing back to its position. I'm going to hit F12 to open up the transform type in tool, and I'm going to activate the move tool. Okay. Now we've been using the absolute world coordinates all this time, and we've been ignoring the offset world coordinates on the right part of this little window. So what does the offset do? Well, exactly as the name suggests, it offsets objects a certain distance, whatever distance you want. So for example, if I look at my gizmo, I can see the X direction is the direction that I want to nudge the entire railing over to the right. Okay? Since the X direction is pointing to the right, I know that toward the right is positive X, not negative X. So what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll put in just a positive 1 inch, and there we go. You notice that the entire railing's just nudged over 1 inch, and it looks much better now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this railing over here, and first I'm going to test and see if it's linked properly, and I'll move it, check it out, and yes it is. So I'll undo to move it back. I'll look at this guy here. I know I got to move him 1 inch. Now I need to move him to the left, so the left is going to be negative. So I'll go 1 inch, and I'll put in just a negative symbol, and there we go. It moves in 1 inch into the floor, which is perfect, and it's very precise. Okay. Now let's try this one out. Let's take the railing and move it, and we have a problem. The railing and its details are not linked. So I'm going to take the helix object here. I'm going to use the link tool to select it and link it there to the railing. And once it's linked to the railing there, I can just go ahead and select the railing, confirm that they're linked by moving it. Yes, it is. Undo to put it back. And we can see this one needs to be moved an inch. It needs to be moved in the Y direction, not the X, okay? Because we're moving this one this way, all right? And we have to move it toward where the Y direction is pointing, so that's going to be positive Y. So I'm going to move it 1 inch. There we go. Perfect. Problem solved right there. Okay. That's going to do it for the second floor here. All that stuff is pretty much good to go. I don't have to mess around really with the staircase railings. They're positioned pretty good. Okay. Unless I find something drastically wrong later, I won't move them from where they're currently at. Okay, so that takes care of that. Let me end this video, and in the next one, we're going to have to do some polygon modeling to these top railings to make them fit, because as we can see, this does not look right. We need to make these railings kind of connect and look a little better, because that looks a little sloppy, doesn't look right. We'll also have to connect these railings up here, which is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll get it done. We have to connect the top railing, this one here, with the railing from the staircase that's coming up to connect with it. So we'll see that in the next video, how we can get that done using some polygon modeling techniques.